Cash Color Canvas, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv. It's your guest, Mecca King. I'm back at it again on a Tuesday night down here in Atlanta at Live Hip Hop Daily for another episode of the higher level of conversation, which is Cash Color Cannabis. And I got my special guest in the building, my man, Headkrack.
Yo,
what's good with you, man?
Peace and love, my brother. Thanks for having me come through, man.
Bro, appreciate you coming through. You know, I was joking a little bit with Herb earlier about people I know who are just kind of born to rap. And I was listening to you mumble a second ago. And I'm like, when you meet people who are born to rap, they rap all day. Like literally when they talk, they rhyme. Like, they ain't doing it on purpose. It's just they rap. And I'm listening to you mumble. I'm like, oh, he a rapper. I forgot.
Yeah. You know, sometimes like I'll be chilling, it's quiet, and I just like think of lyrics that I like, either that I said or like other people said.
Yeah.
So just a second ago, I was inspired by like Know the Ledge, because like, you know, y'all can't really see the vibe that's happening like inside the building, but y'all was playing like some dope retro hip hop. So like, you know, y'all was playing like Black Sheep, Choice is Yours, and all that stuff.
Yes,
it reminded me just being on a bus. You know, just, you know, vibing out to the Juice soundtrack, listening to the classic Eric B. and Rakim, you know?
Let's talk about how dope that Juice soundtrack is. We'll get to that later, because I do want to get into the hip-hop side of your life, man.
Okay.
But as I always start with my shows, for those who don't know for some odd reason, who is Headkrack and what does Headkrack do?
Well, despite popular belief, I'm not the young kid from John Q. It's not me. It's a totally different guy. I mean, Headkrack, I'm a Renaissance dude. Like, I don't want to say I'm a radio DJ, because it's more than that. Like, I'm a media personality. I do this TV show called Dish Nation. I got my brand new radio show called The Morning Hustle, which is syndicated in like 30 plus markets. Thank you so much. But like my passion and my thing that I care about the most has always been hip hop, and how hip hop can be weaponized for good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hip hop can like start wars, start fights. It can also bring peace, motivate people, and help people better themselves. And I know what hip hop did for me growing up, so I want to, like, you know, kind of do the type of things that inspired me through my music.
That's amazing, man. Because I talk to people when I grew up in hip hop. Like I was born in '78. Like literally, hip hop was in my blood the minute I was able to hear a song. So you're right. Like, I've been able to watch hip hop do everything from start wars to stop the violence to stopping gang wars. You know what I'm saying? Like, to even right now, like I watch rap make people wear Balenciagas and they're ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like rap has the ability to do that. And you gotta love that, man. You gotta love that part about it, man. So like I said, I've known that you are a hip hop head. You know, shout out to Bodega Brothers. I actually seen you perform one time and I was blown away. I was like,
thank you, bro.
This is a dope experience. When did you first discover the culture of hip hop?
I mean, I was born in the Bronx, so it's like being thrown in the pool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's all around you. You see the graffiti, and like, you know, early '80s New York, you know, you still saw the breakdancers outside. Yeah. It was truly a thing. And, you know, for whatever reason, it just spoke to me at a cellular level. Not everybody could sing and hit notes like Michael Jackson or Prince. Not everybody had 5 people to back them up with choreography like New Edition. Yeah. But if you had a pen and an imagination, you could be a rapper. And like, what I used to do is I used to use rap to diss people who would diss me. Like, I wasn't good at playing the dozens, but I can come back tomorrow and say something melodic that people would remember insulting you in return, that'll go way harder than you snapping on the sneakers I had yesterday. So like, I just kind of like, just as time went by, got better and better at it, and then like went from writing to being able to freestyle off the top of my head and to just go for it.
That's crazy, man. You know, it is funny you just mentioned about how most people can't sing. I grew up thinking that all women could sing for some reason. Like, I just thought that was a thing that matter of fact, to the point where, and I'll give you an example. When Mariah Carey was hot, I remember telling this girl who I was in school with, like, I don't get the big deal. Can't all y'all sing? Like, what's the big deal about women singing?
To some degree, like, most women can sing, but not all women can sing like Mariah Carey.
Most women can't sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go there. Also, I thought for some reason all women's hair was real. Like, En Vogue was I remember my sister laughed at me just like how you laughed when I said I thought En Vogue's hair was real, and they was like, okay. You know?
Well, let me tell you something, man. Yo, I did too.
Yeah, bro.
I found out just now that it wasn't. It wasn't?
No.
Because like some of them had short haircuts. And like, and here's the thing. the witchcraft in which
Yes.
women are able to pull off with hair
Exactly.
technology.
That's where I was.
I don't know, and I work in front of like some of the flyest chicks. Like Portia Williams will come through with a pixie cut one day, and then joints down to her shoulders the next day. And I like just in my head, she combed her shit different.
It was exactly. As a dude, I don't think on levels like that when it comes to women. I just think women are just magical and can do whatever the hell they want to do. So if you have an afro one day and a short hair the next, I assume that's all your hair. I don't never think about wigs. Thanks to Instagram, I think about wigs now.
It ruined the surprise.
Ruined the surprise,
But Instagram
man.
is spoiling it for dudes too, because like cats, you got like the cul-de-sac hairline and stuff, and then next thing you know, they coming through with the.
Bro, I can spot a fake beard a mile away, and I almost want to be a coach for women. I can spot a fake beard a mile away. Like, bro, why are y'all doing this to us right now? Like, you're messing the culture up. Like walking around here with a whole chin strap. Yeah, just looking ridiculous.
And like and it's curtailed a little bit. But you remember cats like maybe like 2-3 years ago they was doing like the shoe polish beard, like where like there wasn't even really hair there, but it was merely like paint,
just paint.
And like if it starts raining outside, they like kind of like playing low real quick. They ain't really trying to go out there.
Just paint. And my thing was this. So you just walking outside doing that? You just walking outside with paint on your face?
Yeah, I mean, God rest the dead. I remember one time Shorty Low came by the station and like,
oh, Shorty Low,
and it was just like,
rest in peace, Low though, man. Low do got that Beijing baby.
Yo, I was just scratching my head because I didn't really understand what was going on, and I'm like, yo, maybe I missed the wave.
No,
like,
no,
you
did not.
But he was the first person on the wave.
Rest in peace, Shorty Low. I remember me and Danny just walked out. I remember me and Danny went to Shorty Low's crib, and I thought that like, okay, he's the first one I seen with it because he had the hairline, the beard. It was perfect.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't want to go through all that grooming, really, man.
And God bless him too, because he would run in place, and after a while, you would start to sweat.
Yes. He was trained. You know what I'm saying? It's a different level when you get to that spot, man.
Yeah.
So hip hop was something that you kind of like me. You was born into. You woke up and the culture was in front of your face. But eventually, you found yourself towards radio. Like, how did you gravitate towards radio?
It was one of the things where I really just fell into it. So me and my man Keynote from the Bodega Brothers, me, him, and this other guy named Super K, we were at a party one night, and there was this new station that came to town. Now, at this time, we was living in Dallas. 97.9 Beat was the station, and they were playing De La Soul, Ghostface Killer, and I'm like, yo, I want to work there. Keynote Super K was like, yeah, me too. We went to the studio the next day. We made a tape, like we have a radio show and this is what it sounds like. Yeah. Now at this time I'm working for a record company and I'm like, hey, I want to work overnights, maybe 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. so I can keep my day job. And they're like, no, listen, we want to give you guys a 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. shift.
Really?
And you guys can quit your day job. So he's like, all right, then cool. And that is how we ended up in market number 5 doing radio.
That's crazy because 6 to 10 and radio doesn't pay the most. So for somebody to be like, now quit everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a
no. We got in at the sweet spot where it was still like kind of like bringing the bag to. But even like us getting in the sweet spot, like when we first signed our radio deal, it was like kind of the equivalent of the Louisiana Purchase. If anybody like does history, like like. They was like, how much money do y'all want to do the show? And I was like, hold up, guys. I got this. Insert low number right here. Like, we were trying to do the job for the exact amount of money that we were getting paid to do our other job right there. And then it took us like 6 to 12 months to climb out of that hole and get the money we should have been getting. Because they're like, because by then I got a lawyer that's like, yo, why did you ask for so low?
That's funny. That's hilarious. But you're right. When you in something new like that, I mean, I guess you don't really know what the price is going to be. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
I hate to even show my own being naive, but yeah, I've been in that room before where somebody asks you, so how much do you think you're worth? And you say to yourself, I need $500. So you know what I'm saying? That's what I need right this second. But what do you think I'm worth? You never really kind of think about things like that, especially when you're going into a space like radio. Like you probably just are happy to do it.
Yeah, and my whole thing is like, hey man, we're gonna have the opportunity to play like dope records, break artists, interview people, and say what we want to say on the radio. We didn't have training. Yeah. We didn't go to radio school. Like, they literally, they say, oh, man, the inmates are running the asylum. That's really how it was when we got the gig because our PD at the time loved the fact that we didn't do radio. It was almost, sometimes God will put the right people in the right place at the right time. Because if it was any other person who was like a linear thinking radio person who went to school for all these years and I read marketing books, like they would have never hired us. They would have never hired us. Yeah. But God put Daryl Johnson, shout out to him, in the right place at the right time. And he was like, yo, I need these guys.
That's great because, you get in the wrong hands and next thing you know, you got a gimmick. Like, what was they did on Family Guy? Weenie in the butt. Like, you end up with one of them joints, you know what I'm saying? Like, weenie in the butt. Instead of just y'all going on the mic and just rocking and doing your thing, man.
Yo, we would bring listeners to the station and we would, like, tie them up like hostages and we'd give them 4 hours to get out of the situation to win prizes and stuff like that. Like, we were wilding at nights and just doing stuff that, like, by today's standards and practices, we probably wouldn't be able to do it. Like, I remember sometimes we'd hold items for ransom too. Like, hey, we got tickets to go see insert rapper with little in his name, and in order to get it, you got to bring us the latest issue of the Source magazine, a universal remote controller, and a stamp with a black man on it. You had 4 hours.
Get down here with all that stuff.
Word, and people would come through and do it because they just enjoyed they believed in the bullshit. Yeah, and we believed in it too.
Yo, that's dope as hell though. I would have listened to that. I probably would have tried to participate. I'd have been that guy.
Yo, there are people that we are still friends with to this day because either they won something on the show, they were regular callers, or whatever. You know what I mean? And I just hate that. Just back then, this is right as YouTube was becoming a thing, we didn't really have the foresight to just record all that stuff and put it online. Now I got mad tapes, at the crib that I can maybe convert, but I don't have time.
That's crazy, man. So that's an amazing first time experience in radio. After that, where did you go? Did you happen to move from market to market, or
no? So once again, a lot of people be in radio. Yeah. So I did nights for 3 years here. Then I had to go to Kentucky. No.
Exactly.
I did nights for 4.5 years, and it's like, hey man, you guys are number one at nights. Tell you what, we're gonna take Headkrack from the night show, pair him with Rickey Smiley, and then we're gonna start a morning show. So all I was looking at it so I get Saturdays off?
Yeah, right.
Because we were working Monday through Saturday. We had 1 day off a week.
Yeah.
And that was kind of commonplace for people who was doing a night shift back then. And even in some markets it is, but now they got to work 7 to midnight every day, and that's crazy, but whatevs. So I dodged that bullet. So they paired me with Rickey, and then we started the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. And we did that for I think 15 years. It's all a blur.
Sheesh, man.
And then now they rolled me my own joint.
That's crazy. So what was it like working with somebody like Rickey Smiley? You know what I mean? Because somebody like myself, watching BET Comic Views and all that, you see Rickey Smiley as this comedian, you see all the energy and everything, but to put that in a radio studio and do this job every week, every day is a whole different animal, man.
Well, here's the crazy part.
Working with him?
I never saw any of that stuff.
Really?
Because when Comic View was on, The Way We Do It, which was a show he had on BET, it was on while we was on the air.
Oh, so you missed it.
So I missed it.
Yeah,
I heard of him and I see him. I heard he was the Santa Claus on Friday.
There you go.
But I had, I had nothing to really connect it to. Yeah. So when we met, it was kind of weird. It was City Mouse, Country Mouse, hey, this is a guy from Birmingham. He likes church. He loves his grandmother. I'm a dude from New York. I'm listening to Wu-Tang. I'm wearing Tim's. I got a chew stick. You know what I'm saying? I was
it's all New York in the building, man.
Word, because I am who I am, no matter where I am. So, it took us a while to figure out each other's rhythm and timing. But once we got it together, the magic happened, you know what I'm saying? And it's like being in a band. Sometimes you're playing drums, sometimes you're playing tambourine. And I knew how to play my position within that scenario to help aid and abet the show to become what it became.
Yeah, which was a major smash. You know what I mean? Like Rickey Smiley show was and what we was a major thing in black communities. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? You are a fixture in black households. What's it like to understand even to be part of something that big? You know what I mean? Because to know that you are being listened to not just in Atlanta, not just in this one market, but you talk about I got you on radio.com. You know what I'm saying? I got you on iHeartRadio. I'm listening to this everywhere.
I mean, I'm just waiting for at any moment the doctor to pull the mask from me and be like, yeah, you've been in a coma for 8 years. And all this stuff is a figment of your imagination because none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
None of this makes sense at all because you know, like when people, I go like visit people at schools and stuff like that who want to get into communications. I talk to people who did like eight-year radio program. And yeah, man, I'm still paying back my radio student loans and stuff like that. And like, I just want to know how to get into business. And it's like, yo,
start a rap group first.
but it's kind of crazy because like, here's the thing. It's hard to explain. Results may vary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can do all the things that people tell you to do, all the things you think is right, and it may not work out because that's maybe not what the trajectory of your life was.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And just for whatever reason, God is Walgreens dooring my life for me and allowing me to just do shit because my intentions are good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do this for the money. I don't do this because I want a convertible mansion. I don't do this because, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to have sex with whatever leftover Destiny's Child member there is.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I really want to help people and empower people to be as great as they possibly can be. So when you move in with good intentions, you get the Walgreens door treatment. You don't have to open the door at Walgreens. The shit opens up for you.
I feel you. You know, and you're right because, you know, it's almost like I'll take, for instance, even my life. I don't have a degree from college. I'm literally six credits short. Like my mom, whenever I say this out loud, everybody look. My mom, sister, all of them look at me still. Like, you really sick. And the 3 credits are health and computer 101. I promise you. Computer, and the reason I won't take computers because I've been new it, and I was just at that moment like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But anywho, I couldn't tell nobody how to be a writer. Like, I literally. From the time I got out of college, it was 3 years later, I was already getting paid to write. You know what I mean? Like, I knew what I wanted to do. If I had to turn and tell somebody how to do that, it'd almost be impossible. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you that, you know, eventually you might be, like I was in Charlotte, you might write enough on your own website that Brandon Peters and people like that in New York are now on an email train with you saying, can you cover Jeezy? I can't explain that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got out that. Matter of fact, when they called me to ask me to do that story, I hung the phone up and just ran and told my friends. They had to call me back and say, can we get your social security number? We need to pay you. Like, it didn't even dawn on me that I was getting paid.
It was like a check attached.
Yeah, it didn't even dawn on me. So, like, for me, I could totally get you. I couldn't explain nobody this trajectory. I couldn't explain Cash Color Cannabis to nobody. This shouldn't be popular. You know what I'm saying?
But look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all can't see it on camera, but this shit's lit.
This should not be popular in any way, shape, or form.
There are like multiple people like smoking various strands of weed. Like right now as we do this interview. Shit's exciting.
It is. It's exciting life. I can't explain it. And sometimes you cannot explain what happened to you. The most you can say is this happened, you know, and just be blessed to be able to say to somebody, yeah, I'm the example. I don't know
look
why.
at your moves, bro. Like, I mean, when you think about it from the standpoint of the first writer ever didn't have to take a class.
Yeah.
He lived and wrote about the things that he understood and had a
Exactly.
mastery of, and there's some things that can't be taught. You can't teach somebody to have a personality or an opinion.
There you go. Either
you have one or you don't.
There you go. And then I'm blessed that I don't have student loans for journalism class.
Dap on that.
Like I didn't get a master's degree in journalism. I know people with that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what they're doing with that, but I know people with those, man.
And the crazy thing about the computer class you took,
yeah.
None of that shit applies anymore, does it?
No. Because it's funny, you know, again, I remember walking in that class and they was trying to explain to us like cursors and how to type, and I was looking around like, y'all know how to type? I'm fuck out of here, man.
Like I remember like the last computer class I took actively, it was when you had to enter all that stuff in to make the robot dance.
Oh, bro.
And I would always be like a semicolon short.
Bro.
And then like the very next year they dropped Windows 95. And I'm like, yo, y'all wasted everybody's time. I need that credit back.
So, you know what? I miss Oregon Trail. Like, Oregon Trail to me is the most underrated basic game ever that computers ever blessed us with. It was the only reason I went to school. For some point, sometimes, like, I'm here for this. I want to play Oregon Trail.
For me, it was Lemmings.
Lemmings.
I
remember Lemmings, man.
Yo, they like kind of followed each other to their doom, and you had to like get as many Lemmings through as you can. Like, if they came out with the app, I play that shit.
Dang, that almost sounds like Instagram, man. Like, let's see how many people we can get into this little box before it closes.
The real Black Mirror.
So, you know, it was dope to me that you was able to work with Rickey Smiley. It was an amazing platform for yourself. And eventually you spun out, and now you have your own show.
Yeah, the Morning Hustle.
Talk to us about the Morning Hustle, because I'm pretty sure, again, somebody Walgreens yourself into that one, too.
Basically, I never said, hey, I want my own show. I hate it here. Like, one or two things was going to happen at the end of my contract. I was either going to leave and just put all my energy into rapping because I put the rap shit on hold.
Yeah, was that going to be an option? Like the Bodega Brothers, would that have been an option if you didn't do Rickey?
I mean, it's definitely the problem is we don't live in the same place.
Okay.
And I mean, and as much as I hate to say it, like I have to puffy that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have to show up and make Travi and Keynote hang out, and then we went to the studio like 2 weeks ago. Like I flew to Dallas just so we could work on music.
Word.
And yo, we cooked up some dope shit. So I can't wait to roll out more Bodega Brothers music.
Okay.
I just dropped a record Friday solo called Cali, which anybody who's down with the Cash Color Cannabis movement, I think y'all gonna rock with that, especially the video too.
Word.
It's about going to California, eating edibles, and having to be rescued. Over an amazing, beautiful backdrop, and the video is crazy too. I'm hoping to put that out, if not this Friday, probably next Friday.
Have you done the visual yet already? Because I'm already getting vibes of going back to Cali.
Oh, the video's already done, and yes, I do have a Red Kango on in the video.
Okay.
There are people who maybe search the web and go on sites that end with hub that you might recognize in the video. And it's just a dope video. But once again, and I willed that too. Like my manager at the time, I was like, yo, I want a girl who looks like blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And they literally got blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look at Jesus.
You know what? No, don't call your shot sometimes, because literally I have standing appointments with Candace Vaughn, and I think I might be able to get Jasmine Banks on the show. Like I've shot my shot before.
That you got to. You miss 100% of the ones you don't take.
Got to. I have shot that shot before, and do not be shocked if Candace Vaughn is sitting on this couch having a full conversation, smoking a blunt.
I'll be one of those people in the back rolling up.
I bet you would.
I would be a studio audience member. Like that night, I would play tambourine. I'm do my part, play my position.
So what's it like having your own show now? Like, is it a big difference between this and you being a part of the Rickey Smiley show?
It's a whole lot different. I played way more games on my phone on the old show. Yeah. Because I didn't have to steer the boat. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm waiting to do the hip hop spot. It was paternity test Tuesday. I'm trying to think of something like semi fucked up to say. Like I'm like,
this dude's playing bird.
Yo, I be playing Marvel Strike Force. I got like 6-star Hulk, I couldn't have done that.
Stop it.
So the new show, you're conducting the train, you're keeping everything rocking, you're rolling out, and you really gotta it's a new squad. So we're still in a point where we're like learning everybody's trigger points. Oh, this is what this person's passionate about. Yeah. This is, what makes this person tick. But it's fun. Yeah. We're having fun. And the cool thing is I get to be able to talk about the things that everybody in the room previously maybe didn't necessarily understand what I was talking about, because I was the youngest guy in the room. So if I'm talking about the new project from West Side Gun and Conway,
Rickey Smiley looking at you like the fuck.
Tell me about Tim Conway. No. He's a dude from New York, man. He got shot. It was all bad, but and then even some of the higher level stuff that I want to put our culture onto, like the art of astral projection, remote viewing. And just really celebrating the God from within. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't understand how powerful we really truly are as people because we're so distracted. Yeah. And I really want to have these conversations, man, to help people unlock that part of their mind that allows them to spend more time with themselves. I want to let people know that, hey, listen, I know that you've been told that weed is the worst shit ever or your life, but hey, listen, man, the pharmaceutical companies have been selling you drugs, like real drugs, your whole life. And and I want to just, do everything in a way where it's easy to digest the information. Yeah. And I want to help people grow. Bro, I want people to become better people from listening to the show.
That's dope, man. And so looking at the crew, I know you got L'Oreal on the team, man. Who else is part of the staff? And did you pick them yourself, or were they handpicked for you?
So there was a process where I was interviewing different people and was just trying to find the right temperament and alchemy of voices, personalities, and people that worked. And this collection of people were the ones who I think really stuck to the wall best. Okay. You have their personality, L'Oreal from the Lip Service podcast, as well as Bully and the Beast.
She also could rap.
Yo, and she be talking about I don't rap no more. But every Friday we started doing the flow and go again. Yeah. She be getting busy.
That's how I know L'Oreal. L'Oreal can rap, man.
Yeah, and I didn't even know in the beginning And then she reminds me of all of my aunts. Like if I had a super aunt, it's L'Oreal. Like she reminds me of my aunt Cynthia and my aunt Lisa with a little dash of my aunt Pat. Like
and she from New York, ain't she?
Yeah, she's from Brooklyn. Okay, and so is my mom and all my aunts. So she's like a super auntie. Then you got Angie Ange, who hails from DC. Yeah. And she has such a big heart. She's like the nurturer, the caring person. You know, if a turtle gets a straw in his eye, she gonna like pull it out and like make sure this turtle gets eye surgery. Like she cares about the big things and the small things, and she's a Swiss Army knife type of person too. Like when we be freestyling, she don't rap, but she'll jump in and be better than most people who rap name begin with little. It's pretty good. Minus Wayne. Yeah. The dude's nice still. So she's dope. Glad to have her on the team. Then you got my man Jordan, used to be known as Shorty the Prince. He's from St. Louis, and he's had an interesting career himself because not only did he have records out that were popping, This Is the Way I Live. That was like his big breakout single.
I used to love that song too.
Yeah.
The way I live.
You know what I'm saying? And like, he's been doing radio for a long time, getting to the bag since he was young. He was on 106 in Park, like on the Victory Lap season where like, where they kind of they wrapped it up, pretty much after that season. But like, he was one of those guys that was so good at what he did, let's bring this guy in and try to, make it pop off. But, he maintained doing music, and he also maintained popping in and out of radio. So he's a dope asset to have on the team. Then you got comedian Billy Sorrells, who is also one of those new guys that's just out there quietly killing it. He's been on Wildin' Out. He be on True TV Laugh Tracks. He tours the country doing stand up, and he's just a funny dude to be around. So it's never a dull moment in there. So we talked about Lori, you enjoyed Angie and Billy Sorrells. Yeah, so that's the Furious Five, man.
That's what's up, man. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you got your own show now, and you now the captain of your own boat.
Word.
Radio is a lot different though now. You know what I mean? Like I remember growing up. And yeah, radio was it. Like I remember sitting up and listening to Clinton Sparks on 88.9s and all that. Like radio was it. And it's not so much.
Right.
Like radio is going through a transition right now where you do have to compete with so many other platforms, including such a platform such as myself, like podcasts. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like radio is scared of podcasts?
I think the people who program radio in its current form don't understand podcasts well enough to counter program against it. Don't think they're scared of it. I don't think they take it seriously as they should. Same way like when the whole digital revolution was coming in, people was like, download, and no one had an answer for it. And so it was too late. People want to hear content because they can hear these little raggedy songs anytime they want. You know what I mean? So it's all about having the most cutting edge, dopest personalities on, because like far gone are the days where you pick up the phone and call, like, yo, I want to hear the new one from anybody, because you literally can make it happen right then and now on your phone. Exactly. And I used to be one of those dudes calling and requesting songs that you would never gonna play. Yeah. And you said, I got that coming up, and I sat there and waited like an idiot,
the whole night,
knowing damn well you wasn't gonna play Respect Mine by Fat Joe featuring Raekwon. You know what I'm saying? But like you call in with that hope. Yeah. So people got to smarten up, and like I said, with our show, we're just trying to do our part to make sure we're talking about the things that people care about, and we're doing it with a little bit of that podcast nuance mixed with that classic radio delivery, so it's palpable to people who got like old school ears.
Do you feel like radio could ever get as important, or at least rise up to the part where it was important in pop culture as it was in the past? Like, do you think we can get back to some of those old days with radio?
I think we can if we let me figure out how to say what I'm trying to say. I think radio can be as important as it was back in the day if they listen to the damn kids. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, the kids control the future. Yeah. I go speak at these schools, and they kind of know me. Mostly more so from Dish Nation. Yeah. More so than radio. Like, you are aware of Hot 107.9 because like this is where you live. But at the end of the day, you got to reach the people on their level. If these kids want to hear their favorite song, they're not necessarily just jumping straight to the radio anymore. No. They pull out their phone, they go to Spotify. These little pirates is listening on SoundCloud. And at the end of the day, we got to figure out a way to keep up with that and create and give power back to the mixers. Yeah. Because that was another thing that was really important back in the day. Yeah. So why would I want to listen to someone mix the same songs that they just got finished playing like an hour ago.
And that's where I thought Sirius was going to be way bigger of a thing to me, because I thought Sirius gave that power. Like, you literally had the power with, say, like a DJ drama show or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? A Rapid Rick show. Like, you'd have the power to program the channel you would actually want to program. I felt like Sirius really could have did it. You know what I mean? I think that Sirius is still stumbling a little bit. Like, they're still trying to figure out different ways to maintain relevance right now.
Yeah, like, everybody doesn't have DJ drama level juice or creativity.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that, like, I think also stifles hip hop as a culture, because some DJs don't want to work hard to figure out how to mix Earth Gang into something that Metro Boomin produced. You know what I mean? It's too much work for some of these people. Yeah. And especially if the BPMs are so extreme. Like, cats play it simple for whatever reason, man.
Let's not even get into it. You talk about DJing, man. Like, we got to talk about what kind of DJ now. Like, you a DJ, or you the kind of DJ that, like, push buttons. You feel me? Like, I'm like my man DJ Bentley. Shout out to DJ Bentley. I remember Bentley and I sat there and watched a video on Instagram where this dude he was an EDM DJ, and he had this whole arena rocking, and he was just going like this, and every once in a while he'll slap something. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what he's doing up there. And the camera will be zooming over, and he's clearly not doing anything. He's just going back and forth, hitting things.
He's just selling emotion.
Yeah,
so it reads well on camera.
That's what I realized about EDM DJs. What they do is sell the energy. They don't necessarily. I could be an EDM DJ.
And it's so disappointed because Jazzy Jeff is getting to the bag.
Yes.
But his skill set should have him getting Calvin Harris money.
Oh, yes. Yes. Because for one, we're talking about just your skill set and the fact that you know how to actually rock a crowd based on who the crowd is. You're not going to come in there and just play hip hop all day. He's going to get to jazz. He's going to get to R&B. He's going to get to something he found in London. He's going to be that dude. I don't want to talk down to nobody. Get a bag.
I mean, but the thing is, like, with a lot of these EDM DJs, you almost have to be high to enjoy their set.
Almost.
I want the music to get me high. You know what I mean? Like, like that feel good. Like, I went to go see. I went to the Sound Table one night. There was a DJ out of Brooklyn, and his name is at the tip of my tongue. But the records that he played, every record made you feel like $1 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like. Yeah. Every record he played had so much heart, it had so much soul, and the way he ushered it in was just so well done. And Rich Medina was at the Sound Table, and like, I went home and I wrote till about 4:00 in the morning and then recorded to 6 in the morning.
That's what a good music selector should do for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should make you want to go. Like, I've gotten into house music recently. I'm loving like some real good house DJs. Like, I like just that vibe, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you can go from 0 to 100, and you just sitting there like, oh man, this is so dope. I need to do something. Like, it makes you automatically just want to do something.
Yeah. Now, I'm really big about going out and catching a vibe.
Yeah.
Because I am so domesticated daddy daycare right now in my life to where, like, I need to be able to feel the danger, and I need to be able to capture the shit that, like, really pulled me in to begin with. Like, going to MJQ on a Friday night. Like, have you ever been?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yo, it is the most consistent thing in the history of my Atlanta existence. Some of my favorite restaurants don't exist anymore. I remember there used to be a Muslim dude in a bow tie when I first came here. He used to sell me a salmon Philly. That place is gone. But MJQ is still rocking, and Drez is still one of the best freaking hosts I've ever seen.
Shout out to
and Doug Boogie and freaking Majestic and DJ Lord and like that whole squad over there.
And they have a vibe that make you want to be part of the party. Like, it's not, you ever go to MJQs, the part I love about MJQs is ain't nobody sitting around taking pictures. And it's not one of those moves where everybody's like with the cameras in their face. Nah, you sweating. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they just put it down, man. And then, like you say, Dre be up in there and be like,
yo,
it's amazing.
Choreography. Like, I remember this one time I went, and this one dude just stood on stage the whole time with his arms folded in the B-boy stance. And then when Set It Off by Strafe came on, all of a sudden, like, it was almost like he was a sleeper cell or he was the Manchurian candidate, and that song is what made him dance. Then all of a sudden, it was like they was together. They was like two people, but moving as one. It was the most amazing shit.
Bro, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Well, hopefully we can see radio get back to where it was. Because like I say, I grew up in that era. I'm not going to try to make people go back to the 2000s, 90s, or the 80s. I'm not that dude. But I would like to see radio again be prevalent, at least be relevant to people, to this young generation. So hopefully they do figure out a good happy medium. I think podcasts do scare them. I think like it's almost like anything. It's like when social media first popped up. anything that's this free and this accessible and allows people to just reach out to people and don't have to go through hoops and ladders should scare any entity. Yeah. And when you see podcasts and you start seeing more of these more popular people have podcasts, the Joe Budden podcast and things like that, it should really make a lot of program directors start scratching their head like, how are we missing this boat?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the lack of control.
Yes,
a lot of programmers want to be able to control, and their level of control is the music. Mm-hmm. The music gives them the power, gives them the leverage. I can make this deal. I can get this to go with this way. But with podcasts, it's content. You're talking. You can't really control what the people are saying per se. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they lose that when you remove the music from the narrative because the money's there. Yeah. So they're coming. They're coming now because they see that the money is there. But, I think a lot of podcasters just have to organize and make sure they're being paid fairly and not necessarily aligning with companies that are ripping them off and, and really figure out how to structure the content because I love podcasts, but my commute is so short. I remember I listened to one episode of the Joe Rogan joint and it took me a week and a half because the show be 3 hours long.
Luckily for y'all, I try to keep this between 45 minutes and an hour. I don't try to take your whole day up.
It's very digestible.
Yeah, I try to do that because I try to listen to Drink Champs on Tidal, and I was like, man, not only they drunk, this is long.
Turn into a project.
I don't know how y'all do this for 2 hours. This is long, man. How y'all even awake? That's
it's
a
the
lot
alcohol.
Of
They drinking Tiger Ball.
Sheesh, boy. It'd be heavy up in there, man. So I heard you get into the weed game.
Yeah, man. So many years ago, back when the rumblings of the legalization of cannabis in the state of Illinois was becoming a thing, me and a few people got together in an investment group, and we went in on a dispensary.
That's what's up,
on the south side of Chicago. So it's called Mission Dispensary. Okay. It's over on the south side, and we're serving the south side of Chicago well. And because of what just popped off January 1st with the legalization of recreational marijuana, we can now, serve the community better. If somebody was thinking about shooting somebody, they're going to do it later. You know what I'm saying? We're in a great space. And the thing is, I've seen how marijuana has helped people who are in tremendous pain deal with their issues. And to be able to create a affordable alternative to these real drugs that these pharmaceutical companies are peddling to you, I think it's a fantastic thing. But you just got to know, your limits. Weed ain't for everybody. Not everybody's brain is wired for this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I've seen some people smoke weed and become A-level alpha creatives. Mm-hmm. I've also seen people who smoke a lot of weed turn into couch potatoes. Yeah. You have to figure, it's almost like the commercial. Find out if weed is right for you. Because it might not be. I'm just saying. My pop's been high my whole life, and I didn't even know it. And he functions. He's a functional, marijuana smoker to this day.
I'm very proud of that. I am a functional cannabis consumer. There's a good chance I've been high in a lot of situations. Y'all didn't know it at all. Matter of fact, be lucky I was high. Or you know what I'm saying? It could have been a whole different situation.
No, being high be saving people, man.
For real.
A lot of cats will get bully-footed and stomped out. Mm-hmm. But it's hey, man, listen, man, I'm going to go think about this.
So what's it like being into the dispensary business, man? That's a whole nother, again, animal.
So the crazy thing is, you have no idea what all goes into it. No. Until you see the operation. Because, when I went out there to go check, because, you put all this money in, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, yo, what the fuck's up? When we getting paid? Yeah. Because you don't understand the process. Yeah. But then when you go out there and you see, oh, wow, this is nice. Costco level nice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's very organized and there's, clerks. You know what I'm saying? Because, prior to that, when I would go with my dad to get weed, he'd leave me in the car and he's knocking on someone's door and coming out jogging. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is a different. Damn, I felt like he was going to the corner store. So this is really cool. And then when you get to see the grow house, which is completely in a different location, it's whoa, now I see why it needed so many rounds of funding and how legitimate of a business this is. This is so organized and such a real thing that I want to see more of my brothers and sisters get in on the boat because here's the thing. The ship is sailed in some cities already, but it's about to sail nationwide, and we need to be a part of this. and like some states have things in place where they have to have a certain amount of minority license holders, and we can't miss out on this in Georgia. We can't miss out on this in the state of Texas when they finally get their life together. I don't know what they probably ain't gonna do this shit in Alaska. It's too cold. But all the places where it's not legal yet that it will be legal, I need us, minorities, to be in the conversation, because if we're not in the conversation, we're gonna get edged out. It's almost like, weird comparison, but the hair game. For some reason, black women spend so much money on hair, and we as African Americans have no control over that business whatsoever, and try to get in it. Yeah. They won't let you. Why is that? You know what I mean? So don't let marijuana become the next hair game.
You know, I think you just gave me an idea for a dispensary. Like, can we have a dispensary where, say, all right, so we walk in and there's doors. And it's like, this is an OG door, this is the sour door, this is that. And I can just run in, knock on the door, put my money down, and just jog back out. So I remember that experience. You know what I mean? That's a dope experience. Like, that's real. Like, I've been to dispensaries and I've been to the trap. You know what I'm saying? That's a fun experience.
I almost missed the old way, because you want to feel like you're getting away with something. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's an idea. I think that's an idea. I don't know, man. We just like appreciate it. You know, and just dip off and look around too. Make sure ain't nobody looking. Have a cop in there who just kind of just stares at you real weirdly. He ain't gonna do shit, but you know. Yeah, like I don't know if the Branson guy that everybody wrapped around is still around, but like.
You know, shout out he is. Yo, me and Danny met Branson. Shout out Branson.
Word?
Yeah, that was.
Tell me about him, man. Like, yo, I've heard about him on so many Redman records. Like, what's up?
That's what I told him when I met him. I said, bro, I didn't think he was real. Like for the longest, and so shout out to Cavario. My man Cavario actually put us together when I was working on this documentary called The Color Green.
Okay.
And so we was in New York. I was like, I explained to him the situation. He actually put me on the phone with him. So we all on a three-way. He explained the situation, what I was trying to do. Branson was cool with it. So he said, yeah, come through and we chop up. So we went up there. We met him in his park in Harlem. Matter of fact, that's a whole nother story. How we got to Harlem and how cabs wouldn't take us there. How this Lyft driver got lost. It took us like an extra hour and a half. We finally get to my man's. He was cool as hell, and it was just dope talking to him because you talk about somebody again who, if things were different, almost like how you ever see Malcolm X when he met Jamaican I almost called him Jamaican Charlie, but when he met the Jamaican dude who was running numbers.
Oh, yeah, in the very beginning.
Yeah, West Indian Archie. When he was talking about how in another world you be a mathematician, you be this, you be that, but because where you're at, you're stuck at this level.
Absolutely.
Branson had like we was talking about burner. You had burner ideas in the 90s, and you had burner type promotion through Biggie, Jadakisses, Puff Daddies early. It's just what you were doing was illegal, and it was in a city where they was turning up the volume when it comes to getting locked up. Like how you listen about 95 Lives in Rikers Island and shit like that. They was turning the volume up on that. So what you wasn't trying to do was be all out in the open with it, but you kind of was. Like even my cousin Touche talks about, we from Boston. Driving out to New York, he said, bro, I went out to New York because I was trying to find Branson. He's like, I would hear that shit so much. I was just like, yo, I'm asking people. I'm in clubs. I went down to the tunnel. Yo, where can I find that Branson weed at, man? Yeah. Like, it was like that. He could have been a burner in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Easy, like smooth, like no issue. Just like how Freeway Ricky Ross, you easily could have been a burner in the 90s if you said, I don't want to do dope no more, I just want to do weed. Yeah. But it's just the predicament you in.
And it's crazy, like we're in the same country where it is okay in some spots and not in others.
Yeah. And I think like how we applaud certain people in cannabis, like say, what's the buddy? Not Mickey Monday, but there's a white dude who's a pilot. Like they love talking about Buddy, man. Yeah. They need to talk about Branson. You know what I'm saying? Like how they love propping up these dudes, and I'm not saying they don't deserve their flowers now. But what I'm saying is Branson existed, and that's a real thing. And I can Google Branson rap lyrics right now. You'll figure who he is through Lil Wayne, through Jadakiss, through Biggie, through Redman. You know what I mean? Like to know Redman found a bag of Branson in his pants like last year. You know what I'm saying? His mom's did in the house. Like, yo, she found a bag of Branson, pulled it out, and it was like super dry. Like, I wish he would have tried to smoke it. But he pulled out a bag of Branson from 95 and last year. You know what I mean? Like, bro needs to be propped up like that. So, yeah, we did have a chance to meet bro.
I would say him and Quentin. From the Far Side. Quentin's on his way. You remember the Far Side album? The very first Far Side album.
Why am I blanking right
Quentin,
now?
I think, was like the West Coast Branson. Quentin's on his way. Quentin's on his way. Woo, another day and it's okay. We're gonna get high. Like he was like, I guess the guy that was running weed to people on the West Coast.
Out there. Okay.
And Tommy Boy even gave him a single deal on the strength of it.
That's straight. You know, that's what I'm saying though. We have even our own pioneers if we want to keep it a buck that we should really be lifting up. And Branson is one of them. Like Quentin is one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like as much as we tell these stories and all this other shit, yeah, let's talk about that.
The first time I heard of like the billionaire Richard Branson,
yeah,
I was like, this nigga? But then I realized like, oh, not the guy from Virgin. But I totally thought that's who they was talking about.
Nah, but yeah, I had a chance to talk to bro, man. He's definitely an amazing man. I'd love to see if we could speak to him again on a different level because after talking to him now, and then we in a space now where we're watching states go left and right legal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we watching now black people in general trying to fight for their place at this table, quote unquote table. And again, we got somebody right here who literally created his own table, his own distribution line.
He was a brand name.
His own packaging. Like people used to tell me, like when we was in New York, they was telling us about the boxes. Like, yo, he would come up in these little boxes and they'd be tied up and you don't even know what the fuck's in it. I'm looking like shit, I pay extra for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm paying extra for that.
And he had the jaws too.
Yeah, the Branson jaw, bro. I'm paying extra for that. Yeah, this is not you pulling weed out of a sock. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd pay extra for that, definitely, man.
The finesse of it all.
Yeah, let's lift them brothers up. So I'm congratulating you. You're doing a great thing. It's definitely with the dispensary. It's called Mission
Dispensary.
Mission Dispensary.
Southside Chicago. Check us out when you're in town, man.
Definitely hold them down,
come
man.
through with this regular just ID. It's legal. And you're good to go.
What's your preferred way to consume?
Okay, so I am an adventurer.
Okay.
I like edibles because it is always an exotic experience. There was literally a time where I had a piece of chocolate, and this is before like cats was reading dosages and stuff. You just happy to have the product. Yeah. So I ate chocolate, and then I went to Fogo de Chao because I wanted my food to be amazing, as if going to Fogo just isn't the shit already, right? But no. I wanted to taste like the cells of the steak I was eating.
What a high moment, man.
Yo, it got to the point where I felt like my feet were sticking to the carpet. And I was scared to leave the restaurant because everybody had knives.
They's gonna kill me.
Then I called my homie Keynote from the Bodega Brothers, and I called him and explained to him how somehow I stopped 9/11 from happening, and I'm in the World Trade Center right now having dinner. And you should be here too.
What kind of weed was this?
I don't fucking know, man. Like it was just a chocolate bar. I got it from LA. Like my homie who had a license gave me the chocolate. I got it back here, and I just kept it for a rainy day because I know my limit. Because like I get that high off of edibles most times.
Okay.
So
you know you.
I know me.
Yeah.
There was one time recently I got high and I went to True Foods. And anybody who's been to True Foods in Atlanta knows they're really proud of themselves. It's not really cheap, but the food is great. So I'm eating my food at True Foods, and while I'm eating, waiting for the bill to come, I call Fellini's Pizza, which is right down the street on Peachtree, so I could go pick up 2 slices. It was greedy as fuck. It was so greedy.
And them slices be big.
They are. And then even after I smashed the 2 Fellini slices, I was trying to think, like, what did I want it for dessert?
Yeah. And this is off the edible, not even the weed. Like,
yeah, this slap, it was off of, that time it was, gummies.
Gummies.
It was gummies. It was a sativa indica hybrid, and I probably had one. Oh, it was gummies, and then like, all right. So you know how you have like the vape pens, right?
Yeah.
So I've had a vape pen that I bought from my homie D Technique from the Bodega Brothers. Shout out. And when I traded my car in, I left the pen in the car. So I got a new pen. And you know how like you have.
I thought you was gonna say you went and got the pen back.
Nah, it's Atlanta. It's the guy who took my car in, like, he looked like one of us. I
ain't want it coming back.
He probably felt like God wanted him to have that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I knew I wasn't gonna see it no more. So you know how you have pens and then you have things that people smoke out of that were like, yo, bro, you're doing too much?
Yes.
My new pen was the yo, you're doing too much. I got this thing called the low key, which looks like a keychain.
Okay.
And like the cartridge thing flips in and flips out. So when I put the cartridge on there, it's different than the pen. It gave way more kickback than you ever inhale and like cough and like see like visions of the future and past.
You start seeing stars.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I had the Pineapple Express cartridge.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever had that one before.
Cartridge, no. Strain, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had the Pineapple Express cartridge, and that mixed with the couple gummies I had. Yeah, that shit. I was Doc Strange.
Man, we need to go ahead and get you a edible brand ambassadorship or something, man. This is like perfect.
I am pro edible. I remember the very second time that I had edibles. Here's the crazy shit. Whenever I'm like really high, no matter where I'm at, I'm in New York. So one time, and this is what Cali's about. The song Cali that I just dropped last week. I was literally in LA, and it kicked in while I was on the freeway. So all the brake lights of the cars have now turned into the things from Space Invaders.
Oh no!
And I'm not like I'm not swerving, but I'm trying to avoid like the beams of lasers.
Yeah.
So I told my homie that I was with, I was like, it was a homegirl I work with on, at Dish. I was like, hey, we probably should pull over. And when I pulled over, we're in LA, but it was all the establishing shots from the Cosby Show. There are no brownstones in LA, but I was seeing brownstones, and I'm trying to call my homie Keno, and then like the screen from the phone was pulling me in, so I couldn't like get the number out.
I gotta go hear this song, Cal. It's like I can't die.
Oh man, wait till you see the video, man. Wait till you see the video,
bro. Man.
And then the video after that is even crazier than Cali. I've been editing it for like 2 months because it's really extreme.
That's dope, man. You know, I feel like rap has played a huge role in why cannabis is popular. Like I don't even think it could be disputed, honestly. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel like rappers take ownership of the plant or the industry like they should. Do you feel like rappers should really, in MCs overall in the industry, especially ones who try to play in this industry, do you feel like they should be more vocal about their activities in this industry, or they're vocal about their love of this industry versus just telling us about how much they smoke all the time?
Yeah, I think you got to get a little bit more specific because like a lot of people who we look as the poster children for marijuana within the hip hop culture, we just know these people love to get high. Yeah. But we don't know why. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a narrative to explain to people like what got you there. Like everybody has their reasons. Like I don't smoke every day. I don't smoke every week. I have kids. I kind of got to like fly low with my shit. You know what I'm saying? So
and you definitely can't eat edibles, clearly.
Unless I want to have an adventure. Or go to New York on demand. But I really feel like if more people within the culture talked about it from a standpoint of like, hey, these are the other good things that this is for. Like, hey, there's a lot of people walking around with arthritis, cancer patients who are in immeasurable pain, people who are going through leukemia, people who have trouble focusing. Some of them have been helped out by sativa. I think we have to have people figure out a clever way to rap about that shit.
I think I just found another. You know what? Maybe it was the weed. I'm getting ideas now. Snoop Dogg. Mm-hmm. I done seen Snoop Dogg become Christian Snoop, Jamaican Snoop. He's become he's a chef.
He was a lion.
He's a Snoop. Yeah, Snoop could do this. Become medicinal Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And have a whole rap song where he just discusses different ailments and stuff like that. That cannabis can help.
My man just bounced out the dumbest vegan sandwich at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, like
when you read the fine print, it's like, okay, so let me get this straight. You made a vegan sandwich that has Beyond sausage and real egg. Yeah. Cheese.
Yes.
They should call it the veganish.
And it's all available. And it's all available at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, but I think that Snoop probably could pull that off. I don't think Wiz Khalifa could. Like, I don't want to listen to Wiz Khalifa tell me anything other than like KK. To be honest with you, like, I don't want to hear him try to sell me that story of medicinal, the beauty of the medicinal purposes of cannabis.
No, Snoop is one of those people that we trust. For whatever reason, he has that face that we trust. Even more when he has the bonnet on.
Oh, let's be for real. Snoop not only has a face he can trust. Snoop is one of the few people outside of like Charlie Sheen who could do some felony type shit, like murder. You know what I'm saying? Like murder. Like walk away from a murder and white America just be like hugs. You know what I'm saying? Like come work with Martha Stewart. Like he's one of the few people who can avoid all kinds of shit.
Some people have done like the unthinkable and still somehow like secured the bag and people's credibility. Because like when Busta Rhymes was out here wilding, like yo, the white man is the devil. They gave my man a whole Mountain Dew ad.
Yeah.
Like. It's like okay.
Say word. But you're right. You are 100% right.
I thought that was gonna completely stop his bag.
Yeah.
The white man's the devil, and there's only 5 years left. Like all that shit.
On every album too. There's only 5 years left. Every album. Busta Rhymes used to kill me with that because it's like every album. Why are you counting this down, bro? Because I'm still buying these.
Yeah, I needed a follow up in 2001. So what happened?
Yeah, so you can't just stop out the blue. You feel me? Next thing you know, you shake your ass like it's on fire. You know what I'm saying? Just out the blue, no more. The world's about to end.
Word.
Crazy, man. What we gonna see you in the next 10 years?
Next 10 years in a perfect world, man. Hopefully, I'm producing TV shows and just really like creating dope spaces for creative people to come and be creative. Yeah, that's my whole thing. I don't want to be like Regis filming like 70 and still working.
You give me Black Regis.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you give me Black Regis right now, like a cooler version of Regis. Like Regis wasn't non-cool. Like let me not say that. He was cool as shit. Yeah.
He was a G.
Yeah,
like I want to be on TV and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I also want to create hubs because there's a lot of creative people who don't have the infrastructure.
Yes.
Or the admin to do the things that they want to do.
Yeah.
So if you're incredible in filming and you're a great writer, I want to create a space where you guys can come together and do your stuff.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's my gift.
That's needed. You know what I mean? We need incubators like that are around somewhat, you know what I mean? But we do need more. It's not like, what I'm saying, what's an extra? You know what I'm saying? Like we need more of that and we need people to help foster the creatives in this community.
Even when you look at like, collectives like Odd Future per se.
Yeah.
Everybody came together and did a thing that made Odd Future great. Now what if you took that from like just rap and made it multimedia, you know what I'm saying, to where like, hey, we have somewhat of an agenda, but the agenda is to build. Because like most people always want something from you, but most people don't lead with what can I do for you?
Nah.
You know what I mean? So if we can put those people in the same spot and get them cooking, man, listen, man.
I like how you use the Odd Future reference too, man, because Odd Future, that's a good connection to that because everybody in there plays a certain role. Not everybody a rapper, not everybody a producer. Everybody plays a certain role though, and it helps that train move down the track extremely smooth.
Yeah. And like my man just won a Grammy. Like who would have ever thought the dude who ate a cockroach at the end of his video was gonna get a Grammy? I
would have. I love Tyler, man. Like ever since, and I'll give it to this. The first time I saw him in when I saw Odd Future perform on the Jimmy Fallon show. I don't know if you remember, this is the first time they performed like on a big platform like that. It was big on Twitter. Like matter of fact, Twitter was brand new then. It was a big Twitter thing. So I was like, let me get into this Odd Future shit. I started listening to it. It was like I didn't fully get it at first. Then I saw the performance. And I'm like, I still don't get this, but I fuck with this hard.
Right.
Like this is just, I remember Mos Def came out the side and just started yelling swag. I was like, that's how I feel watching this man right now. Like the way and watching the Grammys this weekend. I'm like, I don't know how y'all could watch this man perform and think that he's anything other than a star. Like,
no, dude is amazing. I felt like the Grammy actually should have came before, but like, when you're a hip hop head, the Grammys never do what they supposed to do.
No.
You know what I mean? So I expected continuous snub nose activity as it related to what he did, but he did an album that was different than anything that he's ever released, and this is what totally got him thinking. That speech that he made, when they say things are urban, just as a sophisticated way to say the N-word, he's right, because Igor, for lack of, for all intents and purposes, is a pop music album. And he should have been classified as such.
Actually, I thought that speech was something kind of funny to me because I'm like, at the same time, we've been calling Lizzo pop all year, and she does something at the Soul Train Awards that she even gets mentioned for an award, and people bug the fuck out. I'm like, can we make our minds up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she's clearly pop. I understand this, you know what I'm saying? But you can recognize that what she's doing is also rhythmic and blues. Like, some of this can fit into this category.
It's tricky, though. Like, I mean, I think you've seen it happen to people like, not the best example, but like MC Hammer. Yeah. Like once you belong to the world and you're not ours anymore.
Oh no, that happened to Hammer.
Yeah, we feel a certain way about it. Yeah. Because when it was just Let's Get It Started and like people kind of knew about him, but pre you can't touch this, it was one thing, but once he became something that everybody was into, and like even like, you know,
kids, when you start having a Hammer commercial, cartoon, that's when we knew it was a rap.
Yeah.
Actually, I knew it was a rap. I got Pop Goes the Weasel on my playlist. I knew it was a rap when I saw Third Base do Pop Goes the Weasel. I'm like, oh, this is it now?
Well, when I saw him do the chicken commercial, I was like, okay, this is where, And then the Addams Family song.
Okay. Have you seen him now do the, is it the payday loan commercials now?
I did.
Okay.
I did. And I also saw him last year at Brave Stadium, whatever they call that now, at the Battery.
Was it some?
I went to go see the game because Hammer performs. Because I was like, yo, I don't know when I'll be able to see Hammer perform again.
You right though, man.
And if I can see him and eat a burger at the same time, I don't think I'll ever be able to pair the two together. So I went to go see him, and like, yo, he started to set off by doing none of the shit that like you would expect an MC Hammer to do. Like he did what Kanye's doing now with no choir.
Oh no, bro! I came to see, like you say, Get It Started. I came to see them shits, man.
Nah, he did like Son of the King and I think he baptized somebody. Like it was a lot going on, man. I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Nah,
I'm gonna head out.
That's what's up. Yeah, all right, I'm out, man. Bro, I appreciate you coming through tonight.
Yo,
this has been an amazing
thank you
episode.
this was fun as hell, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm at an age where you gotta take naps and do shit after 8. And I'm glad I did, because this was fun.
Man, Headkrack, appreciate you coming through. Wish you all the luck and all the more success in the radio world. Hopefully, I can find myself over on your show one day talking about the Cash Color Canvas world and all that. Man.
You have to pull up,
yeah,
and not in a Hollywood way. Like, no, really, bro,
not like Martin.
with Tommy Davidson.
Yeah. So I show up. What happens when you show up? You can spray.
Nah, for real. Like, because here's the thing, man. Like, there are so many sides to the business, man.
Yeah.
And you have a unique perspective on the world, and you're entertaining as hell. And I just like talking to entertaining people. Man.
Well, I appreciate that. I definitely pull up, and not in the Hollywood way, man. I would definitely,
yeah. Yeah, come through anytime you want. Yeah, nah, it's bad, man. They said no guests.
she be Hollywood. I probably have to bring her.
Oh no, yeah, camera people welcome, man.
Okay.
Bring them all.
Okay, all right, that's what's up.
The EDM DJ side, you need to check out DJ Young Josh, DJ Mayhem, and Mixmaster David.
Okay,
we got.
I'm gonna write them down because I don't want to pull it out in the middle while I'm on camera.
You go to Martini or you go to Gold Room.
Where, because the thing is, like, I went to like, you watch the.
Hey, wait, hold on. This is an off-air show.
Oh, my bad.
I started looking at the time like this is the part where people be screaming at me when they be listening to the shows. Like, what the hell y'all be going on? But that's perfect. I appreciate you coming through, Crack, man.
Thank you.
Definitely have a chance to mix out with everybody here because I'm pretty sure people want to take pictures and get a chance to know you while they're here as well.
I'm here for it, man.
So that's Cash Color Campus, high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv. We out.